All right, welcome back, everyone, to our NFL Week 11 picks.
The third leading scorer in the playoffs. What a season he's had. Brown goes inside. Oh, what a slam from the Panthers have a 3rd and 10. Here comes pressure. So the ball's out in the end zone. And it's Wheeler finds Claude from the logo. Edelman in motion. Edelman takes the swing pass. Edelman's going to throw. He's knocked it wide open.
Last week I had a pretty decent week considering all the different upsets we had. I went 10-4 last week, putting myself solely in first place with a decent lead. Not too bad on the year so far. So for this week, we have a very exciting Thursday night football game if you're a Patriots fan. This is kind of our first bye week of the year, you might say. We get to play the Jets at home with our new rivalry uniforms. This is the most certain game of the year for me. This is the most confident. I'm 100% confident the Patriots win this game. I've heard a few people say this is a trap game for us. No chance. No chance. This is not a trap game. If anything, next week against Cincinnati is more of a trap game than this. I don't think this is really a trap game at all. Patriots should win this one with ease, and especially against the Jets. The Jets, even when we were bad, they couldn't beat us. So the Patriots should easily stomp over the Jets. Unfortunately, there's really not too much else to say about this game. Drake May will continue his MVP run, and the Patriots will advance to 9-2, and we will have a winning record for the first time since 2021, where we finished 10-7. I think we'll finish a little better than that this year. So, yeah, very nice Patriots win on prime time. And we get to see some new uniforms, and we get some extra time to rest up before our game against Cincinnati in Week 12.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with you. This is a no-brainer, so I'll take the Patriots to advance to the number 1 seed in the AFC.
This could be a trap game. This could be. Maybe the Jets have a lot of momentum going and could shock you on national television. But I doubt it, so I'm picking the Patriots to win. In a slight struggle, I think. I think the Jets will come out and play hard because they've won 2 in a row and they want to keep their momentum going. So, but I still think the Patriots win.
Now we have our Sunday games. We only have 2 teams on bye this week. We have the Colts and the Saints. And the Patriots, if you count that as a bye week. It might be. Speaking of the Patriots, also, last week's game against the Buccaneers. Very impressive win over them in Tampa. So they can't just say we've only beaten bad teams now. We've beaten the Bills, the Buccaneers. We've beaten pretty much everybody the last 2 months. So we'll keep moving on to the Washington Commanders at the Dolphins. Dolphins won an upset last week against the Bills, which I was very happy about. See, that is more of a trap game. And before last week's game, I said the Dolphins and Bills game was a trap game. I still picked the Bills to win, but I said that could be a trap game. When you have the Patriots and the Bills, when they play in that Miami Heat, they always struggle down there. Always. Throughout the years, both of our teams always struggle when we go to Miami. And then Miami always struggles when they go up to Buffalo or New England to play in that cold weather. So luckily for us, the Bills lost and we extended our divisional lead. So now we have the Dolphins playing at home again, but they're really playing in Spain against the Commanders. I'm really not sure who's going to win. Both teams are 3-7. Miami, they are 2.5-point favorites with a little momentum coming off of that win last week. I think that's why they're the favorites here. Washington hasn't won in a while, but I'm actually going to go with Washington here. I think the Dolphins are starting to get some belief in them from some people, and that's usually when they crumble. So I will pick Mariota and the Commanders to win this one and put the Dolphins back into their spiral of destruction.
Well, they've gained my confidence. I'm going to roll with the Dolphins. They look solid again. Not good for sure, but they look okay. And their defense has drastically improved over the last couple weeks. Commanders, yeah, they're injured. They're injured bad.
That they are, but the Dolphins had one good game all year, and you're ready to jump on their bandwagon. Can't trust them. I'm going with the Commanders. to travel to Spain, and Dolphins are going to lose.
Next, we have a rematch game. The last time these two teams played, it was a very good primetime game. We had Joe Flacco against Aaron Rodgers in a shootout. That was in Cincinnati, and the Bengals got the best of the Steelers that game. Bengals coming off of a rough few games. Their defense has just been allowing everything and anything. And one thing to note, if Burrow had been playing this entire season, I don't think the Bengals' record would be much better than it is right now, because Flacco's been playing pretty well. The Bengals' offense has been putting up 30, 40 points a game, which is the same as it probably would be doing with Burrow. So I think, unfortunately, their defense is just so horrendous that they wouldn't be in a much better place than they are right now. It's a Steelers team that is coming off of an embarrassing loss against the Chargers last week. Steelers are grasping on to first place and hanging on by a thread. They had a chance to really take control of the division with Burrow and Lamar being out, and now they didn't do it. So now they're just trying to hang on and fight. They're playing in Pittsburgh. I am going to go with the Steelers to win this one. They're 5.5-point favorites, and I'm going to go with them to win, really just because of how bad that Bengals defense is playing at home, and I think they even the divisional series. These two teams don't really like each other, and I think they split this one 50-50 this year.
This is a coin flip game for me, one of multiple coin flip games this week. But I think I'm landing on the Steelers mostly because they're at home.
I'm taking the Steelers too because they're at home. We could call them the Dallas Bengals.
Next, we have the Chargers at the Jaguars. Chargers looked really good last week. They were struggling against a lot of bad teams, so it was nice to see them with a commanding win. They are 7-3 now, moving back in the right direction. In second place in the division, going up against the Jaguars, who are losing in ugly fashion, really, really ugly fashion. They're also injured. They're playing in Jacksonville. Jacksonville is not really one of those places where people say, oh no, I don't want to play there. It's not really that scary of a road game. So I think the Chargers do win this one. They could start off slow. They do that sometimes, but I think the Chargers take this one and improve to 8-3 on the year.
Yeah, I think the Chargers run away with this game. I don't think it's going to be close at all.
Better team, I believe. I just don't see Jaguars beating the Chargers at this stage of the game. I'm taking the Chargers on the road to get the W.
Next up, we have a potential really good game. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Buffalo Bills. Both teams are 6-3, and the Bills are 6-point favorites, which I think is ridiculous. I think, if anything, the Bills should be like 1 or 2 point favorites, not 6-point favorites. Both teams coming off of some tough losses. The Bills have lost much, much tougher for a couple reasons. One, they were already in second place in the division. And two, they got embarrassed by the Dolphins. The Buccaneers, they put up a good fight, but they lost to the obviously better team. So there's a little less shame in that. This game, I think, is going to come down to the wire. And I am going to pick the Bills to win this one solely because they're playing at home. I think the cold weather team will do better in the cold weather. If this game was in Tampa, I'd probably pick the Buccaneers, to be completely honest. I think Tampa's a little more banged up, but I wouldn't be shocked if they won this game either. I would love for Tampa to win this one and send the Bills to 6-4. But I think the Bills are a little more desperate too. Definitely more desperate. Even if the Buccaneers lose this game and go to 6-4, let's be honest, they're still going to win the division regardless. So they don't really have much competition down there. The Bills, however, are just fighting to stay alive and in the main part of the playoff picture. So we'll go with the Bills this week, but I'll still be cheering against them.
I don't think this game's going to be close, and I'm taking the Bills. I'd say it's at least a 2-score game. They're at home. The Bills like to lose to some bad teams, but they also like to beat some good teams. And the Buccaneers are a good team.
That they are. And the Bills are home. And they're coming off a loss, so I think they're going to be ready and go. And I'm taking the Bills also to win this one at home. I think they're a better team. Sometimes they don't play like it, but I think overall the Bills are a better team than the Buccaneers. So I have to go with the Bills.
Next up, we have a divisional matchup here. We have the 6-3 Bears sneaking into second place in the NFC North, going up against the 4-5 Vikings. Vikings are 2.5-point favorites, partially because they're at home and partially because they've had a lot of in-division success this year. They beat the Lions and the Bears already once this season. So even with their poor record, they have had some divisional success. The Bears are 6-3. They've played some good games here and there. They've had a lot of comeback wins, but most of their wins have been against pretty bad teams. I am still going to go with the Bears here. I think their defense this time around will be able to do enough to shut down the Vikings. They really should have won the first time they played each other, and they choked that game away. I think their defense might just keep the Vikings in check. Wouldn't be shocked if the Vikings won this one, but I think you're going to see the star of the show be the Bears' defense this week. But we'll see what happens.
Bears are rolling, and I think they keep rolling. I say they take this game on the road.
And I'm going to pick the Vikings. And hopefully J.J. McCarthy plays much better than he did. Still not a believer in the Bears. You know, they're 6-3. I'm rolling with the Vikings.
Next up we have, this one's another divisional matchup. We have the 4-5 Texans at the 1-8 Titans. I don't really have too much to say about this one, except for the fact that I was very surprised the Texans won last week, especially the way they did with that crazy comeback with a backup quarterback in there. I think the Texans do take this one. Their defense is much better than the Titans' defense, and their offense is probably still better than the Titans' offense. So I think the Texans win an ugly game.
Yeah, I mean, if you mention the word Titans and football game in the same sentence, we can just move on. Give me the Texans.
Give me the Texans. Titans are in the race for that top pick in the draft, so they're not going to give up, I don't think, a big fight to the Texans.
No, and after a Saints and Jets win last week, the Titans are actually winning that race to
Yes,
the number
yes,
one
they
pick.
are. Yep,
So
you're right.
They should be happy about that. The next we have a third divisional matchup. We have the Panthers at the Falcons. Panthers laid a stinker last week against a quarterback playing his second ever NFL game. Embarrassing for the Panthers. Going up against the 3-6 Falcons, who continue to lose in Falcons fashion. Put up a good fight against the Colts, but could not get it done, like always. Falcons are playing at home. They are 4-point favorites. One thing to know, they got stomped by the Panthers last time these two teams played, like 30-3 or 30-0. It was a complete shutout. So, with that being said, I will pick the Falcons. They seem to have gotten their run game going a lot better. Not that I trust either of these teams. You'll have the Panthers beat the Packers and then lose to the Saints. The Falcons can't really beat anybody, but they do put up more of a fight, it seems like. So I'm just rolling with the home team here. A lot of divisional games split. I'm going to go with another split. The Falcons can win a close one here in Atlanta.
Picking the Falcons, and I'm not confident in it at all. Both these teams can either win or lose in really bad fashion, and it just kind of is a coin flip. And Bryce Young is like 3-1 versus the Falcons.
I am going to roll with the Panthers to win this one and sweep the season. The Falcons, I don't know. I mean, they should be good, but they're not. And you just really can't trust them. You don't know what team's going to show up from week to week. I think the Panthers just going to go in there and lap them around like they did last time.
On paper, the Falcons should be a playoff
Yeah,
team.
they should be. They have a good team.
Very good offensive roster. Next, we have the Packers at the Giants. We have the 5-3-1 Packers going into New Jersey. They are coming off of a rough week again. And the Giants are starting Jameis Winston probably this week with a concussion to Jackson Dart. Not that I would really change my pick, but either way, I think the Packers win this one. Could be a slow start, could be a close first half. Packers really have been a downward trend this year. The end of the season, they've been really on a downward trend. And they really do play down to their opponents. So I think it could be closer than you might think, but Packers should definitely win this one. No doubt. Packers are 6.5-point favorites. They should cover, but I won't guarantee it.
But I'm still going to roll with the Packers just because they are a better team. I could see this one being very close, though, and I could see an upset happening. Especially with James Winston out there, you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, you can pretty much know a pick six is coming if he's out there.
You can guarantee 1 or 2 pick sixes, but he also might throw for 500 yards.
He might.
So
For both teams.
for both teams, who knows?
So, yeah.
It'll be a fun game, I'll tell you that.
It should be an interesting game, that's for sure. I'm going to go with the Packers, although the Giants, I think, will give them a good fight because they got a new coach. Usually after you fire a coach, the team will come out fired up. But I don't think they're good enough to beat the Packers. So I'm going to pick the Packers to go on the road and get the W. I'm not really sure why the Giants waited till now to fire their coach. They should have fired him at the end of last year.
Next up, we have potentially the game of the week. We have the 7-2 Seahawks at the 7-2 Rams. Rams are going to be wearing their rivalry jerseys. This is the fight for first place in the NFC West. Rams are 3.5-point favorites, and I think this is going to be a really good game. And ultimately, I am going to go with the Rams here. I've been very impressed with how well the Seahawks have played the last few weeks. Their offense has been really hot, and their defense has been clicking too.
Yes,
but
it is.
you can say the same thing about the Rams. They have not been turning the ball over. They've been hot on offense, and their defense has been great. Two very similar teams in that aspect. So for one, I'm not even picking the Rams because they're playing at home, because the Seahawks are actually one of two teams that are undefeated on the road this year. The other one's the Patriots.
Of course.
I don't think the Seahawks have any problem playing on the road, but I think Stafford is just going to pull this one out. I have a little more trust in Stafford, who is also having an MVP-like season. And
he is.
the Rams feel like this team that's starting to turn into a potential Super Bowl threat. Like when you look at the Rams team, you can kind of see, all right, I can see this team in the Super Bowl. Like they really look like they could be a Super Bowl material team again. And they've done it before. And Stafford's had a lot of success against the Seahawks team. So I'm going to go with the Rams here in a nail-biter.
I'm picking the Seahawks. I think it's going to be a tight, very competitive game. But I think the Seahawks can pull out a very close, maybe even one of those games where it comes down to a field goal with 0 seconds on the clock. But I think the Seahawks can pull it out. I mean, both offenses are red hot. Both defenses are playing well. Both quarterbacks are playing well. I'd say Stafford's playing a little better, but these are evenly matched teams here. So I'm just going to pick the Seahawks.
All right, I'm going to go with the Rams. This is going to be a great game. It's going to be very interesting to watch. I think very entertaining to watch. I'm kind of leaning, even though the Seahawks are undefeated on the road, I'm leaning the Rams' direction because they're playing at home. Can't wait to watch it.
And next we have the other half of the NFC West. We have the 6-4 49ers, whose injuries are kind of catching up to them. Although they put up a good fight last week, I'll give them that. Lucky for them, they're going up against the Cardinals, who are 3-6. They're playing in Arizona, which, again, that's another place that isn't really a home field advantage.
No.
There'll probably be more 49er fans there than Cardinals fans. Usually how it goes. 49ers are 3-point favorites, maybe starting Brock Purdy this week.
Maybe,
There's a chance that could happen. I think either way, the 49ers win this one. I'll be interested to see how Brock does, having missed so much time. It can be tough for quarterbacks to come back from injury and start hot.
Yes.
Sometimes it takes a little bit for them to get back into the rhythm, but I think the Cardinals is a good team for them to do that against. Could be another game that's close in the first half, and second half could be a little farther apart, but I think the 49ers win this one. They've just been playing better football this year.
Even as much as a 49ers hater as I am, I reluctantly am going to pick them because the Cardinals can't win football games unless they're playing the Dallas Cowboys.
Unfortunately, I'm in the same boat as you, being a 49er hater, but I got to pick them to win because the Cardinals are not a very good team. The 49ers are a better team with or without Brock Purdy, so I think the 49ers should win this one easily.
And next we have our 7th divisional game of the week. The Ravens at the Browns. Don't look now, but the Ravens are starting to get hot again.
Yes, they are.
They are 2 for 2 with Lamar being back, and they're also 3 for 3 of the last 3 games. So the Ravens are going into Cleveland. Cleveland always gives the Ravens a tough time there. It's one of those two teams that hate each other, divisional.
Yep.
Browns have a good defense, so they kind of clash. Ravens already beat them once this year, earlier on in the season. I think they sealed the deal here and improved to 5-5, and they are going to give the Steelers a run for their money. They really are, I think. If they can just put this game away, they'll be 500. Who knows if the Steelers even win this week, but even if they do, they'll be right on their heels. So we still have plenty of time left in the season, and the race is on for the AFC North.
Yep, Ravens, I think they're going to win the division, actually. just basing off scheduling, and if Lamar stays healthy, they should win the division, including this game right here because it's the Browns.
I'm taking the Ravens to win this one. Also on the road, Vegas has them at 7.5-point favorites, but the Ravens are playing much better football. Their playoff hopes are still alive to win that division. So we'll see what happens, see if they can pull out a miracle. After the way they started, I didn't think they were going to see the playoffs. But
If I'm not mistaken, I think the Ravens and Steelers still have yet to play each other twice this year. All right, next up, we have big game.
Big game.
Divisional game number 8 on the week. We have the Chiefs out of the playoff picture currently, trying to claw their way back in, going against the number 1 team in the AFC West, the Denver Broncos. In Denver, Broncos are not the favorites this game. The Chiefs are. They're 3.5-point favorites. I am going with the Broncos here. Not that I really believe in their offense, but that defense is good. Their team has been playing much better than the Chiefs team has. And here's what I really think will happen. I think the Chiefs and Broncos split this year. So I think there's a better chance the Broncos win in Denver and the Chiefs win in Arrowhead. I think the next time these two teams play, the Chiefs win. But for this one, I'm going to see if the Broncos can pull one off against their divisional rival. I think it's more possible than people might think.
This is probably the hardest game for me to pick. This whole thing. I don't know how to evaluate it. 3.5-point favorites on the road is kind of disrespectful in my opinion. But
Well, it is, especially when the Broncos are 8-2.
yeah, that's
It's not like they're have the same record.
I have to pick the Chiefs because they really have no choice but to win this game.
I'm going to roll with the Broncos, being at home. They have a Super Bowl contending defense, no doubt. Their offense is almost as bad as their defense is good. I think the Broncos will force some turnovers and get some points off from that. Their offense will score just enough to win this one. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game.
Now we have, could be a good Sunday night football primetime game. We have the Lions at the Eagles, 6-3 versus 7-2 in Philly. Philly, they are 2.5-point favorites. I'll kind of take that as the home field advantage points right there.
Yes.
I think it would be the 2.5 for the Lions if they were in Detroit. So it's pretty much a coin flip for this one. I'm going to go with the Lions here. I think the Eagles are due for another loss. They have been winning some impressive games. Their defense was very good last week, but their offense was horrible. I think the Lions match up well enough against the Eagles to win this one. As long as their offense can keep pressure off Goff and get in the end zone, I think that'll do enough to put the pressure on the Eagles' passing game and keep them from controlling that game. So I think the Lions win this one. I think this is a favorable matchup for them. Could be a good game, but I like Detroit here on the road.
Yeah, I like Detroit on the road too. And yeah, I do think they match up well enough. So I think the Lions could honestly pretty easily pull out a win here.
I'm going to roll with the Lions also. I think they're going to go on the road and get the win.
Now we are going to wrap up with Monday Night Football.
Wow.
Cowboys at Raiders. I think this is going to be a shootout. The over-under is 49.5, and I would take the over here. Cowboys are a little better than the Raiders. I'll pick them to win this one. I'll pick the Cowboys to win this one. I have zero confidence in either team, but I have a little less zero confidence in the Cowboys, so I think they win this one in a shootout.
They'll give you the Cowboys in a blowout. The Raiders, I don't care how bad the Cowboys' defense is, the Raiders' offense is actually incompetent. So I think the Cowboys take care of business on the road.
I don't know a business they have to take care of because they're pretty bad. I am picking them because, well, I'm a Cowboy fan. And I think we could actually pick up a win against a bad team. Hopefully our offense gets things figured out. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't be shocked if the Raiders win, but I am going to roll with the Cowboys.
All right, let us know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we will see you next time.